Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I hope your week is going well. Remember when they used to call Wednesday hump day? Well, we're sort of in the middle of the week. Well, I hope your Wednesday is going well. And I'm hoping that as we're walking through the book of James together, the words of James are providing you with a bit of things to think about and apply throughout your day. And so my goal for today is to finish a section that we've sort of been sitting in for a while. A section where James is sort of the provocateur, where he's talking about faith, and he almost makes us feel like faith isn't enough. And we have enough of a Reformation faith that we're saying, wait a minute, we thought it was only about faith. And so we're going to end that section now where he talks about faith. It's that whole area, remember, where he says faith without works doesn't work, it's dead. I've often called today's younger generation, the 20s and 30s of Christians, a James faith, because in many ways they've looked at us, especially the baby boomers, and they're sort of looking at us with a skeptical eye, like, you believe all the right stuff, but are you doing anything? And so I do believe that younger generation of Christ followers have a James faith, meaning, well, here's how James starts. You have faith and I have works. Show me your faith apart from your works, and I will show you my faith by my works. And I think a lot of Christ followers today, younger ones, are showing us their faith by their works. They are very active. They are very compassionate. They're very caring as an expression of their Christianity. They may not know the theology the way my generation knew it. They may not even have scripture memorized the way the older generation has it. But man, watch their lives and watch the action of their faith, and that makes a big difference. So in this section, I do want to end it. James gives 3 examples of people who have faith to bring home his point that faith and works have to work together. The first one are demons, the second one is Abraham, and the third one is Rahab the prostitute. Here's what he says about demons. You believe that God is one. You do well. Even the demons believe and shudder. The demons believe, but their belief is this checking off of a faith thing. Yep, we believe God is one, but it's not receiving any grace. It's not receiving the work of Christ. They just believe. Yes, they believe that God exists. They know God exists. And maybe that's you. Maybe that's some of us today. We can check a form. Do we believe God exists? Yep. Do we believe Christ died? Yep. Does it make any difference in my life? Have I received it? And is it transforming? Nope. That's where he's getting. That's where he's going. Demons believe. Makes no difference at all. Then he goes to Abraham. Verse 21 of chapter 2. I haven't told you where I am. Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he offered up his son Isaac on the altar? He's referring to Genesis chapter 22. God told Abraham, go take your son, your only son, and sacrifice him. And he does it. You remember the story? And then God blocks him from it ever happening. James's point was, even though Genesis 15, Abraham was declared righteous by his faith. He believed God, and it was credited to him as righteousness. James's point is he demonstrates his righteousness, his salvation, by obeying God, by going all the way to saying, whatever you say, God, I'll do. And he even went to sacrifice his son Isaac. God stopped him. But this faith, in a sense, was a costly faith. It was an obedient faith. That's the kind of faith that demonstrates salvation. And then the third one he uses demons, makes no difference. Abraham made a huge difference. He was obedient. And then he uses Rahab. Rahab was a prostitute in Joshua's time, and she went the extra mile and acted compassionately. Costly compassion, I call it, that demonstrated her faith. Here's what it says, verse 25 of this chapter. And in the same way was not also Rahab the prostitute justified by works when she received the messengers and sent them out by another way? She came, she received some spies, She was demonstrating her faith by making a huge sacrifice, a costly sacrifice, to care for these people that needed her to care. That's the kind of faith that saves. Faith alone is never alone if it's truly a justifying faith. Abraham demonstrated it by his obedience. Rahab demonstrated it by her obedience. You and I do as well. We come to Christ by faith alone. But the faith that's alone in coming to Christ never stays alone, because it demonstrates the righteousness of Christ, the fruit of the Spirit in our life. I hope you're demonstrating that this week and throughout your life. Tomorrow we'll continue in James. We'll look at James chapter 3, and I'll start looking at the very specific subject of what do we do with our tongues. If you want to know if your faith is authentic, are you able to control your tongue? Are you able to control your typing? You're communicating? Okay, I'm done. Have a great Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.